Good morning, afternoon, or evening, my hunters, for whenever you're watching this. Welcome to Canteen Talk. Welcome back, and today we're going to ride the coattails of my last video and talk about 5 things I want to return in Monster Hunter Sunbreak. First off, let's get the obvious one out of the way. I want Poogie back. He's my cute little pig, and I love him. Alright, with that being out of the way, let's go into the more complicated things. Next, I want to talk about the giant siege type monsters. I'm not talking about siege type like the All-Mother and Ibushi. No, I'm talking about the real big ones that you cannot really fight normally. For example, we have Lao Shenlong. Even though you can fight them normally, you still mainly use the weapons on the gates to fight them. Jin Moran and Dalmoran, Dalamadur, and the most recent entry, Zora Magdaros from Monster Hunter World. Why do I want these? Well, they are fun as hell to fight. Because it throws a whole new wrench into things. You can't just whack away at him like you can with other monsters. No matter how good your equipment is, it is very hard to kill him without using the siege weapons. And speaking of weapons, I want the tarnished and rusted weapons back. Mostly because my favorite sword is the Ancient Blade, and I kind of like Eternal Glyph too. But they were really fun weapons to get. I didn't expect them to be good when I first got one, but I said, hey, I'm going to upgrade it anyways. And, man, the Elder Blade is amazing. It was my most used weapon in Monster Hunter 4 and Generations Ultimate. Not to mention that the fully upgraded versions had purple sharpness, which I know why they didn't add it in the base game, because they never add purple sharpness in base game. So that's expected to be in Sunbreak, so I'm not even going to talk about that on this. But next up, I want to talk about a biome like in Monster Hunter World that has every kind of environment, so that way we can see interesting interactions between monsters that we normally wouldn't see. Like, for example, what is a good example? Alright, so good example would be an Anjanath versus Gosharag fight. That would be fun. And the last thing that I want to return, I highly doubt it will because it was a mechanic only in Monster Hunter Generations, was the hunting art styles. Why do I want this? Well, the one I basically want is Adept style, because that is what helped me most with Greatsword in Monster Hunter Generations. Because Greatsword is all about knowing the monster's movement, how they're going to land. Adept style is knowing the monster's tails and dodging them at the perfect time to, in Greatsword at least, go for a charge attack that will do more damage. I also don't know if this is in there, but I'm just going to throw it in as a bonus. I want to be able to launch people with my Greatsword. I don't know if it's in here. I don't think it's in here because I tried it before and it failed. But I want to launch people up with my Greatsword. It can go for some interesting strategies with friends. And not to mention, it's really funny. Alright, so that is 5 things I want to return to Monster Hunter Sunbreak. And if you liked it, thumbs up, didn't, thumbs down. Subscribe if you want to see more, and see you next time.